spoilers for Marty Supreme. Please do not watch this video if you have not yet watched him. Okay, enjoy the video. Goodbye.
YouTube, this is Pinong Jamawan back at it again with another video about Marty Supreme Night. Yeah, I'm making this video because I feel like the first video I made about Marty Supreme was way too convoluted, way too hard to understand, way more of a spur in the moment kind of thing I made. It wasn't, my thoughts, I hadn't fully formed it. I couldn't even fully comprehend the movie I just watched because I made that video like 15 minutes after I finished watching the movie. But that was the day after I finished watching Marty Supreme. I got my 7 hours of sleep, I got my breakfast, got my lunch, got my afternoon snack, got my vitamin D, got my vitamin C, got all the vitamins. Yeah, so let's make this video about Marty Supreme. What can be said about Marty Supreme that hasn't been said about the Great Wall of China? The Great Wall of China. It's long. The journey to get to the end, it's probably the much more memorable part than actually the end. That's Marty Supreme. His journey means a lot more than the ending, than the ending of the movie. It probably means a lot more to him as well. This is an epic. It's an epic tale of an underdog doing everything he can to be the greatest table tennis player of all time.
Wow.
But it's also a cautionary tale about what ego and what being way too delusional about your dreams, letting your dreams basically dictate your entire life, not having the balance between work and life and personal life, and just being 100% work. This is basically what can happen throughout this movie. Marty
Mauser
is a douchebag. He's an asshole. He tells Kate Stone to fuck off. He tells Rachel to fuck off. He tells Dion to fuck off. He tells Wallace to fuck off. He's basically telling everyone to get the fuck out of my way. I'm trying to be the greatest table tennis player of all time. And there's this scene where he's talking to Kate Stone and he says a lot. He basically has this speech about how he wants to be the greatest and how he wants to be the greatest while doing it alone, which is kind of ironic because of the fact that throughout this movie he's basically been using people to get something he wants, to get that money he needs to go to Japan. That's basically what he's been doing throughout this movie. And also this really badass line though where it's like, failing, that doesn't really even enter my consciousness. Which is honestly really cool. That's a really cool line. But at the same time, dog, like, Kate Stone's kinda right. What if it doesn't work out? Yeah, Kate Stone was an actress. She succeeded. But when she went down, at least she had money to rely on, Marty Mauser lacks any of the basic human necessities mainly needed to live. He doesn't have a way to provide himself with a home. He doesn't have the way to provide himself with food. In fact, it seems more like he's living day to day, which is very ironic considering what he said to Rachel. He tells Rachel, "You're living day to day. You have no purpose. I have purpose. I have to see that out." Dude, you are living day to day, man. Like, this guy is just waking up and he's not trying to live, man. He's trying to survive every day. And like, you could say, "Oh man, that's so cool. He's doing this all for his dreams." Dude, everybody hates this motherfucker, man. Nobody likes this guy. Like, he ruins the lives of nearly everybody he comes across in this movie. He makes it worse for them, while also simultaneously making it worse for himself. He's destroying his life all throughout this movie. But we have no choice but to support him. We have to support him. We have to say, yes! Yes, Marty Mauser! Go do your thing! Ruin your life and become the greatest table tennis player of all time! But is that really a good idea? Because at the end of the movie, he finally does go to Japan by getting his ass smacked. Okay, by getting his ass smacked by Kevin O'Leary, the guy from Shark Tank, or I forgot his name in the movie. Apologies, And then he goes to Japan and is basically gonna get paid for losing, and he's gonna use that money to pay for his fee and then go participate in the Tokyo table tennis open or something like that. But you know, they don't want him. Why? Because he's an asshole. He's been an asshole all throughout this movie. He was an asshole to the hotel manager. He has no power anymore. He can't just keep being an asshole and expect people to like him for that. No, it's not always gonna work, you know? You gotta be humble sometimes. And so yeah, he faces Endo, and it's basically just a play, you know, a vaudeville act. He does the table tennis thing. He loses 14-21. The Japanese are happy. They're gonna give Endo some kind of reward. But then suddenly Marty Mauser says, "We won the real one! We want the real one!" The Japanese shout, "We want the real one!" The Americans shout, "We want the real one!" So, you know, Marty Mauser rematched with Endo. It's the greatest match of all time. Nothing at stake because Marty Mauser can't even compete for the championship anymore. So he's just doing this for the love of the game, you know? Except he doesn't really... In fact, it feels like the love of the game, table tennis, feels a lot more secondary to him. I feel like it's chasing more of that, you know, that status, that validation, that fame, that fortune. It's like that's mostly what he wants, you know, that ability to prove to the world that, hey, I really am great. I really am the greatest table tennis player of all time. Which he is able to prove because he defeats Endo, who is the champion of last year's table tennis tournament. Hey, and you know what they say, if you beat the champ, you probably are the greatest of all time. So does Marty Mauser able to become the greatest table tennis player of all time? No. No. He's able to prove to himself that he's the greatest table tennis player of all time. He can believe that. But no. No, he hasn't won a championship whatsoever. He just defeated the past champion in an unsanctioned, unofficial match. Alright? He's not the greatest of all time. But there's this scene where he calls Rachel. He calls the nurse, the hospital that Rachel's in. And he goes to the hospital and he says hi to his mom. He tells the nurse, "Oh, don't worry, I'm the father." Which is kind of hit me. Because, you know, throughout this movie, he's been calling Rachel his sister, his friend. And now he finally has the balls to admit, "Hey, I'm the father of that child that she's bearing." And then, you know, he kisses Rachel, he sees the baby, and he cries. He cries. Because, now, this is what I interpreted from the scene. He realizes that table tennis, everything that he's been doing all throughout this movie, they may not have served any purpose whatsoever. They didn't serve a purpose. He didn't win the championship. He didn't get any money. He didn't get any prize money. All he got was a trip to Japan, defeated Endo, and proved to himself that he really was the greatest player of all time. At least to himself, even though he definitely is not. But, you know, just to see that baby, I think you can interpret it as he finally knows his purpose. He finally knows what to do with his life. He finally knows the true meaning of what he wants to do. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Now that's some Marty Supreme shit right there. Now, that's about it for this video. If you love this video, consider giving it a like. If you like my channel, if you want to see more, consider subscribing, watching some more of my videos, and anticipating some of my next uploads. Share this video with others as well, please. That's about it. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.